Jolly good morning to you from an absolutely gloriously warm and sunny, for the first time in well over a week here in the UK, day here down on the south coast of England, specifically Bognor Regis. I'm going to take a walk today. I'm not going to spend too much time in Bognor Regis itself. I'm going to be walking through the town a little bit. I'm going to take a coastal walk to the next town along, really, or the next main town along, Littlehampton, where I shall be jumping back on the train and heading back into London. So this walk is around about 6 miles, 6.5 miles, should take just over 2 hours, and it'll be a coastal walk. I've been to Bognor before, I've been to Littlehampton before, very long time ago, can't really remember either very well, and I've also never walked between the two, so this will be a first for me today. For those that are interested in stuff like that, we appear to have a platform 9 3/4. Not sure what that's about, but probably something to do with Harry Potter. But there's a Haygate's bookshop just there, with an old British Rail sign, and quite a nice old-fashioned railway station. So let's head off, let's see what we see today. It's a glorious day, it's middle of September and the weather is in the mid-teens today. So it's definitely shorts and t-shirt weather, just about, or at least it will be for a couple of hours before it starts to cool off again, because it is that time of year. And I think I'm going to be using my Go Jauntly app today. That seems to be favourite for these kind of walks, and I think it's sending me off in this direction, but I'll just double check before I go wandering off either in the wrong direction or make sure I'm going in the right direction. Instinct tells me I should be going that way, but we shall see. Let me just check. Sure what the app was doing there, but it was sending me off in that other direction, kind of a circle around the inside of the station concourse and then back out over just over there somewhere and onto this road here, which is Station Road, I believe. So I am heading this way. Instinct was right. Bognor Barber. Says what it is, I guess. Bognor's a very well-known seaside resort here in England. It's probably seen better days, and is probably well known for its butlins. Not even sure if there is still one here, actually. Yeah, good question. But there certainly used to be a butlins here in Bognor, and there could well be for all I know. But there's the usual array of seaside establishments here, including lots of fish and chip shops, and as it would seem to be the case in the UK, a lot of people that just kind of find themselves on the coast of the UK with not much else to do. There was quite a large group of individuals just outside the station there, and bearing in mind this is 10 o'clock in the morning, quite intoxicated, and I suppose you would class them as street drinkers, probably not going to be going and doing anything much else other than that today. Seem to have Eastern European accents. I won't elaborate further than that, but it does seem to be a bit of an issue on the coast of England very often these days, and other towns as well. Anyway, just walking into this pedestrianised part of the town, which is quite nice. All the usual array of shops, mind you. Nothing sticking out as being particularly local. A lot of well-known brands and high street brands. So this walk basically is straight through this pedestrianised town centre section, down to the seafront, take a left turn straight along the coast to Littlehampton. Quite simple, really. I'm not going to get lost today. Famous last words, I know, but that should not be the case. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a particularly spectacular high street this, to be fair. Just full up of the usual suspects, not come across anything of any great interest yet. Local independent shops or stores or anything much like that really. But I guess it does the job. Covered arcade just there with much the same. This is in fact their high street. Not sure what the name of that is that I've just walked down. It's like a pedestrianised high street area. There's a place I'll be doing soon on the bus there, Chichester. It's not far away from here. I'll be making a separate video just on Chichester itself. And here we are, almost at the seafront, which without, I think I can say without any argument, is always the best part of any seaside town, is the actual bit by the sea. Rather sort of strange looking Brewers Fair there, Regis Centre and Theatre. So if I sound a bit croaky today, had one of those early end of summer, autumn, not quite winter colds come on the other day. You know the sort, they just hang around just for a few days, not too inhibiting, but as is normal with myself, I tend to get a bit croaky, but some people get a big red nose. I'm sure this is great fun for the little ones in the summer when it's a bit warmer. It's a nice day today, but it's probably not quite warm enough, and it is also a school day, so apart from the really young ones, they should all be in school. So here we are, right on the south coast of the UK with the shingly beach, and there's a lot of shingly beaches on this part of the coast. If you carry on going to the left there, you'll come to Brighton, which is also shingly, and if you go to the right, you'll head down towards Portsmouth and beyond, Southampton and into Dorset, where the beaches become sandy. Nice to see some little mini palm trees. So here we go. It's just it's normally, or if it was a sandy beach, I would probably take off my shoes and socks and walk along the actual sand itself with my feet in the water, but walking on shingle is quite a strain. As you'll see, Bognor's Pier is slightly less than impressive. Certainly not as good as Brighton's Pier. But the one upside for beaches like this, shingly beaches, is that you don't have sand appearing in places you'd rather not have it for days on end, which can be annoying to some, I know, but not much good if you've got little kids who want to make sand pies and sand castles and so on, obviously. So a little bit like Brighton in some respects, quite a busy road between the promenade, boardwalk, whatever you want to call it, excuse me. Let's just have a sip of Pepsi, and what the guy was up to. Obviously up to no good. Tend to find that people that shield their faces when you're filming, not that he knew I was filming in particular, generally speaking up to no good, I find. Either that or they've got some sort of disorder, who knows. But anyway, I digress slightly. This is yeah, similar to Brighton in many respects. Shingle beach, a nice, substantial place to walk along, promenade, cycle, and whatever else. With cafes, here's one. A bit early for me to stop for a coffee break just yet, because I've only just had one on the train. But if there's some more of these further along, I'll definitely buy Littlehampton. I shall be doing that. And also a bit like Brighton, the hotels and apartments and so on are on the other side of a kind of busy road really, which runs along the next to the beach. I always think it's a little bit of a shame about the busy road. I suppose the road was probably there before holidaymakers, so who knows. There's never a shortage of coffee shops and so on along these seafronts down here on the south coast. What sometimes is a shortage of is public loos and places to get changed and stuff a bit more discreetly. Some there, but I'm not sure if they're open or whether they're large enough for you to go in and use them as a changing room as well. Probably not. You never know, it's got baby changing on there, so there's possibly enough room for that kind of thing. It looks like it's out quite a long way today. I always think the English Channel looks quite nice. The sun's shining on it. I don't know if it's coming out on the camera particularly, but it looks quite nice and blue today and twinkling. Looking for loose change that's fallen out of pockets. Metal detectors. My word, some barnyard noises coming from somebody over there. Ooh, this smells Purbeck ice cream. Now, I've had Purbeck ice cream before. Very nice. Right, so just starting to edge and ease out of the main part of Bognor Regis, and there's an answer actually to the question I was raising earlier on. Is there still a Butlins in Bognor Regis? And the answer to that is absolutely yes, because there it is. There it is. I presume that's all part of it there as well. Some of it like indoor entertainment area. Chalets and so on over there. Yeah, so there you go, there is still a Butlins. I know a lot of them have closed down over the years, become less fashionable, let's say, but still very popular with many. And if you like that kind of thing, then they are perfect for you. Not sure that would have been around back in the day. A big sort of indoor, what would you call it? Almost like a huge marquee type affair. But some recognition of the fact it does rain here in England quite a bit, even in summer. You know, we can go weeks on end with glorious hot sunshine, and then bang, wallop, a month of rain. And if you picked your week for your holiday during that time, well, there you go. Certainly is a lot of drift of the shingle all right the way up onto the promenade here, or esplanade as it's called back there. I noticed the sign actually at Butlins. I don't know if anyone's ever done this, but it said day pass or day entry, so presumably you can go in and make use of the various facilities in there for a fee, of course, if you're not actually staying there. I don't know how people that are staying there feel about that, if all the rides and stuff's all clogged up with people coming in for the day, but I guess they've kind of got to make a business of it and make as much profit as possible, of course. Bit of a beach gym there, a small piece of one anyway. The land train. Take care when the land train runs. I'm presuming that's one of those things that they call a train, but it's just like a little diesel buggy pulling along some things that look a bit like train carriages. Tourist express sort of thing. I'm imagining you used to be able to just walk into Butlins from the promenade. But, these rather unsightly fences that are here now, so it kind of shows where the gaps were in this concrete frontage. But you probably have to go all the way through one security gate now. We hope you enjoyed your stay. Resort exit this way. I'm thinking this is probably still Butlins here. It's more like a factory than somewhere where you go in to stay, and who knows, this might not be part of Butlins. Don't really know actually. There's no doesn't appear to be much in the way of I imagine it is. A lot quieter up here once you get up here. Probably 4 miles now to Littlehampton, and once I get there we'll take a little look around the town, see what's what, and I think fish and chips may be in order today because it's going to be very much lunchtime by the time I get there. Beautiful day actually, middle of September, so yeah, as I say, we've had a week or two of cold weather really, and some rain. It's been mostly just cold weather though, it's not been great, but today is absolutely fabulous. Perfect weather for this sort of thing, taking a little stroll along the seafront, getting all that fresh sea air in the lungs. Keep away from rocks, deep voids. Deep voids. They don't look like they're naturally there, do they? They look like they've been put there for a reason. I suspect it's probably something to do with an outlet pipe or drainage pipe of some description. People congregating in this area. Quite sheltered just here actually. It probably doesn't seem it on the camera, but I think it's reasonably sheltered just here if you get down on the beach itself, and really quite warm then. Once again, I don't know if the camera's picking it up quite the same, but a beautiful turquoise colour of the sea. Now I'm down at almost at the shore. So you go up further up around the coast, beyond the Thames estuary, up East Anglia and the North Sea coast. The sea always looks quite kind of muddy, and there's a lot of silt in it really. It's not dirty, it's just silty. Whereas here, because there's a lot of shingle in particular, the sea always looks glistening and very clean. Or reasonably clean anyway. Right, we'll have to climb through the fence there now, so I can't really get around that way, I don't think. Nice little cafe here. It's constantly full up. You have to Might struggle to find a table in there if you wanted one now. Smelling like breakfast is still being served. Oh, I guess so. It's what's the time? 10:30. So yeah, still kind of breakfast time, isn't it? Bognor Regis Amateur Angling Society. Are there professional anglers then? Oh, I suppose there must be. What a job. Nice little boats there. Seize the day. I like it. Beach huts. Nobody appears to be using those. Presumably you can buy them or rent them. There's a sign up here that gives you the full gen on it, but I don't think I need to look at that. Because I won't be renting one or buying one. Kind of good fun though in a way. Tide's low today. I think it's just coming in by the way it was starting to come up the wall further down there. Village shops there as well, a sign, which sounds quite promising, doesn't it, compared with those ones that were available back there in Bognor, in the town centre. Clearly have an issue with people breaking in or doing things they shouldn't with these. They basically pull up what do you call it, decking, isn't it? And the decking then forms part of the security of the thing. It's very clever actually, I like that. I've not seen that before. But yeah, so you pull up your decking or pull down your decking, you can get your chairs out and sit on that outside with your door open. I don't know what they've got in the way of electricity inside there to run a kettle or anything else like that, microwave maybe. I know some down in Dorset, some of these beach huts go for an absolute fortune, more than some people's houses, and I'm not so sure if that's the case here, but I imagine if you can buy them they are still fairly dear. Houses just behind actually there as well, on the other side of the grass. That's not a bad place. That's not a bad place to live, with a nice view out to sea. Fabulous. For those of you that like to know about these things, you know who you are, and there are a few of you out there, I can assure you. Well appointed for public toilets actually. Just been past about 3 now since I reached the beach. The nearest point to the centre of Bognor, and since I set off in this general direction towards Littlehampton, so yeah, it's not too bad. A lot of these sort of facilities have been closed down by councils, deemed to be too expensive or unnecessary or whatever, but if you want to get people to come and, you know, spend time in your town on the beach, come by train or bus or car or whatever, you know, they need facilities to use. They don't always necessarily want to have to go into a cafe and buy drinks and ice creams just so they can use someone's toilet. I mean, they'll probably do that as well, but especially if you've got kids, they're always wanting to pop to the loo, or you need to go and clean them up in some way. So yeah, I think it's very short-sighted of a lot of councils, especially in tourist areas, and the ones I really don't like are the ones in tourist areas, really touristy areas that get rid of the public council-run public facilities and then just sell them off to the highest bidder, who then charges you £1 to use them and things like that. Not acceptable, but there you go. They'll perhaps learn their lesson one day when they're business starts going down. But, of course, there are other ways. If you're crafty, just wander into a pub. If it's during pub opening hours, no one will normally challenge you with it. Now there's good to see some people out there swimming. See how, there you go. Look at them. And I have to say, the sea here does, it should be reasonably warm still actually. I think it reaches its peak of warmth about this time of year, and then starts to cool off a little bit more obviously as we go into the winter, but the Gulf Stream helps. And I should imagine once you're in, let me go and have a look, see if I've got a sea temperature reading for just here. Back in a sec. According to the local information, the sea temperature today is 17.3. Now I would say the temperature in the shade at the moment, obviously the sun's out so it's a bit warmer than that in direct sunlight, but I'd say the temperature in the shade right at this moment in time is very similar, probably about 18 actually. And obviously wet on your body, it does feel colder than air, but yeah, it's probably quite pleasant actually. My personal cut-off point's 20 Celsius. Anything below that and I'm a bit of a big girl's blouse, to be fair, and probably wouldn't bother unless I absolutely had to, but they seem to be okay. And it's certainly nice part of the coast to swim on just here as well. Not too many hazards underwater and anything. Nothing will eat you, put it like that. Nothing's going to eat you. This area here that I've just walked past really and just coming out of is, how do we say it? Felpham or Felpham? Felpham sounds about right for me, but with British place names, it could be literally anything, and but Felpham sounds much more sensible than Felpham, at least. Who knows? But yeah, it's kind of I wouldn't say halfway between Bognor Regis and Littlehampton, but it's along the a fair distance towards the halfway point, and I think my halfway point will be just up there where it starts to curve round a bit. Another mile or so, I'd say. This is absolutely glorious. I do love Britain in September when the weather's nice like this, because a lot of the crowds have gone away. You've got a bit more of it to yourself. I mean, there's a fair few about now, but you know, you can get some cracking weather in September. It tends not to be too humid and stifling, but there is a much greater danger of having really bad days and rain and chilly and so on. So yeah, you take your chances with it. Prices will be a lot less as well if you're going to come somewhere like here for hotels and apartments and so on. Be a lot less than they would have been a month ago during the school holidays, but that's life, I guess. I do like these houses and the way, nice little quiet road just overlooking the beach here. Absolutely fantastic, really nice. If I see one with a for sale sign on it, I'll have a little look at the details and see if I can establish. But it won't be inexpensive around here, that's for sure. See how much the shingle drifts up with the constant waves and storms and so on. What time you'd have been out? That's about. That's down some steps basically, and that there is the same height as that. It's just down some steps, so you can see it's almost disappeared completely. Quite often on this coast they have to come around with JCBs every now and then and just pull it all back and push it back into the sea. The way up here, I'm going to come to Middleton on Sea, and I would say that's the Middleton between Littlehampton and Bognor Regis. Certainly looks it on the map, and probably how it got its name. Let's see what's there. Middleton on Sea. Doesn't look like a particularly big place, but there might be somewhere to have a mid-walk refreshment, which will be quite useful actually. Could do with a little drink. So if you're enjoying this video, I've got plenty more on my channel from around various places around the UK, around Europe, and a few from further afield also. Going to be keeping to the UK for the next few months. No overseas planned, but the early part of 2025 I'll start to get a few more overseas out. But as I'm doing a little repeat season as well from some of my older videos, you will see a bit of a mixture coming through at the moment, but the ones on Wednesdays and Saturdays are the brand new ones. The rest of the week, any others will be ones that have been repeated. So feel free to have a look at any of those. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll be able to have a look at them in full. If you click on the yellow bell, then it will notify you when new videos are released. So I appreciate that if you do that. Thank you. Turning into more of a footpath here, less of a combined cycle track and footpath, so a little bit overgrown, I guess you could say. Seats there, quite a few seats as you go along, which is nice. A few access points. This isn't quite as conducive to cycling along, or indeed if you've got mobility issues. But yeah, it's quite nice just along here. I think we'll be coming to Middleton on Sea just around the bend, which, as I say, will be roughly our halfway point in this walk. Access points are just pathways leading out to people's back gardens actually. Presumably some of them will be footpaths all the way between properties, back to the road on the other side. That's one in fact Summoney private estate, but you can walk down that particular one. That's not taking you into anyone's back garden. It's a nice place to sit and have a little drink and a sandwich maybe. Well, the path disappears completely here, but I presume there is one. It's just been overwhelmed by all the shingle that washes up. Hopefully back onto a normal footpath just around this corner. Really nice here actually, really quiet and peaceful. A few people actually sunbathing when you get down by the water's edge. You're quite sheltered from all the breeze. The wind, there is a bit of a breeze, as you can probably hear. It's not particularly cold breeze, but there definitely is one. And the usual noisy garden equipment fires up. I don't think I've ever done a video where one hasn't fired up at some point. Anyway, just back from the beach a little bit now, onto this nice grassy area to walk along. As I say, it is quite it is quite hard work walking on the shingle beaches, especially if you've got any joint problems or anything like that. Could make them feel a bit worse. Right, it's not going to be quiet. Some lovely houses just here with some really big back gardens and the usual array patios and outdoor garden wear. Looks really nice place to be sitting. And many have got boats in the back garden or small vessels of some description. Many have got them here. Some of them look slightly worse for wear, but yeah. I certainly would have a little boat if I lived this close to the sea, that is for sure. Let's see a sort of a massive kind of breakwater ahead. I'm just wondering where that is. I'll just have a little look on the map, see what that is we're coming towards. I think I've got to walk slightly inland at that point though and cut across. It does dip inland slightly along here, but comes back to the coast more or less straight away. That area there with all the sort of rocky breakwaters or whatever is Elmer. Presumably that's there to protect the coast in that area. It must take a bit more of a bashing than everywhere else, I would guess. Yeah, it's got a dip inland slightly here for a little bit, and back round and back onto the coast just round this corner. It's either impassable, no footpath, or it's a sheer drop into the sea. One of the three. That's nice. Just step away from the coast a minute. Beautiful little lanes here. See all the yellow lines. I'm not sure they comply with the yellow line painting regulations. Looks like someone's come along and done them themselves, but trying to stop too many day trippers from clogging up these little residential streets. So I don't blame them really. Old Point private road. Well, it's definitely sending me down this way. Beautiful. This is really a beautiful little part of the coast. I didn't expect it to be like this. I feel like I'm walking in people's front gardens. I'm not. It is a public road, or well, it is a private road, but there is public access for pedestrians. And back to the path, no path. Nothing beats the sea. It will always win a competition eventually. So kind of forced into actual shingly bit of beach now. No defined footpath at all along here. Although we have found, because the tide's quite low at the moment, actually found some sandy bits, which you do find just here once the tide's right out. It's not on display for that long, a couple of hours, and then it'll be covered over again. Good for the calf. Good for the calf muscles. You can see here how much the beach has pushed up over the years. As I say, quite often the local authorities come and push it all back down again. There's presumably a set of steps just there and a hand railing, or there was. It's a rusty old hand railing though now. Plenty of people actually gone out for a swim today, which is superb. So we're probably another 2 miles from Littlehampton from here, approximately. Maybe very slightly more. Just gone over halfway now. And when we get to just before Littlehampton. I need to kind of go inland a little bit and cross over the River Arun and then into the town. I'll have a little, as I say, have a little look around there if time permits, and that'll be today's walk. But as I say, there's hopefully plenty more to see yet. But yeah, you can really see this would have been quite a drop here at one time, down to the beach. Oh, that big pipe there is presumably that's a drainage pipe of some description. I'll be checking the water quality for around here before I went swimming, that's for sure, but maybe it's just water from a stream or river or something that goes underneath this land to my left. Who knows? But if it's sewerage, I'll be not so keen to be in the water in this particular part, but I wouldn't imagine it would be. Yeah, these they're just sea defences, aren't they? Dumped there to try and stop too much of the beach washing away or pushing up too far, one of the two, because these houses just here in particular are well, they're not below sea level by any means, but they're certainly below beach level where I'm stood. I imagine big storms came over the top of there, which they can do in winter. Could be a problem. It's amazing what they do. We're just placing rocks and things, or groins and rocks and breakwaters in the sea, how it can change the way the currents move and the water moves, and how it affects the land around it. So they're described on the map as rock defence walls. Just noticed that now. And according to the map also, there's a pub coming up here on the left hand side somewhere. Not that I'll be popping in. There's a sign there, please leave nothing but your footprints. You'd kind of struggle to do that here in this kind of beach, but anyway, I agree with the sentiment all the same. The app's telling me to carry on in that direction, and the England Coastal Path goes to the left. But I'm going to follow the app. I wasn't sure then, but I've just seen a lady coming this way, so hopefully you can get through okay. Right, so I don't want to go shining my camera straight into someone's house there, but it is up for sale. And I've just had a little look on the website of the estate agent concerned. And yeah, you're not going to get much change out of £1 million just along here. Yeah, £1 million, that's $1.3 million, 1.2 million euros approximately. And that's not a particularly large house. It's fairly big, but it's not, there are bigger ones, put it like that, along here. So we're probably into multi-million pound houses just along this section. They are certainly lovely properties. Another lady out there swimming. Actually found a bit of sandy beach to go and stand on as the tide comes in round her ankles. That £1 million house just back there did look a bit of a doer-upper as well, to be fair. There's a few bob spent on it as well. There we go. tranquility. There he comes with his camera. Let's use a piece of electric garden equipment. We stop now. Well, this walk actually today has certainly exceeded my expectations by some considerable distance. I was just expecting a pretty bog standard coastal walk between two towns with nothing much to see along the way, but it's far from that actually. It's really nice. There's some great houses to look at, obviously the sea and the water, and a little bit of different terrain to walk across as you go. It's not all nice smooth esplanade, whichever you say. And the weather's been fantastic too, so that's always a bonus. Interesting, whatever that is there. It's a bit like some of the old wooden wharfs that you get by the River Thames. Although I suspect that's probably something more to do with sea erosion, coastal erosion that's been put down there over the years to try and stop the sea going too far inland. So, just got past Elmer and its rock sea defences now, and I'm guessing that is Littlehampton. I can see in the distance there, probably, I don't know, mile and a half away, 2 miles maybe. Have sort of deviated off the route a little bit, so I'm probably looking at more like a total of 7 for this particular walk, which is about perfect with the amount of time I've got. I think that's probably Brighton. I can see way over there in the distance. Maybe wrong. Could be Shoreham, I suppose. Hard to see. My eyes are pretty good at distances, but not quite that good. But as we continue along this bit, as I say, we'll just a bit further on have to head in at the River Arun to cross over it and then into the town. A little way to go yet though. Probably plenty more to see yet. Oh, it's a glamping beach from a distance. Glamping as in the notion that you can go camping in luxury, which seems to be a bit of a contradiction in terms to me and a bit pointless. Do one or the other. Climping beach it's called. Yeah, glamping. Anyone done that? Glamping. Unbelievable. If you're going to go and sit in a tent, at least suffer and get wet and cold and all the rest of it, or too hot or whatever. Air conditioned yurt, whatever they're called. It's not my idea of camping. But there you go. A lot of sea erosion just along here I can see, or coast erosion I should say. Guessing you could continue on the beach. It does look a bit weather beaten. There's this alternative route by the edge of this farmer's field. I would say at the top of the cliffs. They're hardly cliffs, but they are. Certainly see where there's been encroachment from the sea. I imagine this went straight across there at one point. And it's eaten into this farmer's field, and in fact you can see really where it keeps every time there's a storm a bit more drops down. I imagine it's just straight across there. In fact the water there is a little bit kind of muddy, if you like, where this is soil has dropped away, and even the makeshift footpath has half dropped away here, so that's interesting. Need some more of those rocky sea defences from Elmer back over here. See if I can stop this from happening, otherwise this farmer is not going to have any field left. Look at that. Yeah, you see, the sea is actually slightly muddy because of all the soil that's dropped down. You can see here a combination of storms, dry weather, wet weather, how it all cracks and then starts to crumble away. I'm standing too near the edge of this. It's not a massive drop down, but even so, still wouldn't want to fall down there. Down in Lyme Regis as opposed to Bognor Regis. They'll be out with little hammers and things chipping away, trying to look for fossils in the rocks. This bit of the coast certainly has taken a bit of a battering of late. Not ideal here, it's alright for me, but yeah, if you've got young children or you've got under 40, this path just washed away. Power of the sea, absolutely awesome power. In a big storm, these great big concrete blocks will just get blown a bit, washed about easily. See a little cafe just over the pile of shingle. We are getting just to the edges of Littlehampton now. Not too far to go, and this is the makeshift path. I think the original path was over there somewhere. Umbrellas are up, sign up, can't see, it looks like it's closed. And the toilets, there's some toilets there as well by the looks of it. It's probably fair to say the coastal path is under repair here. I don't know when it all got washed away or damaged or just deteriorated, as they inevitably do close to the coast. But yeah, it would appear there's a lot of work going on to put it back to its former glory. When that will be, who knows? But still a lovely walk just along here. This isn't the most accessible part of it at all, so think about that if you're going to plan to do this walk. It might not be ideal if you're struggling underfoot a little bit. So I keep going on about this and the extent of the coastal erosion, but where I'm walking now, according to the map, is Mill Lane. It's part of the walk, and it just doesn't exist. It seems to reappear just here, so I'm going to start following Mill Lane just here, so that's interesting. I don't know how long it's been like this, but wow. Mill Lane used to be, I guess you can sort of see some wheel tracks there, but to me Mill Lane should be something a little bit more obvious than that, a bit like this basically. Incredible. The coastal path appears to have been renamed King Charles Coastal Path. I don't know if it was the Queen Elizabeth Coastal Path before, or Prince of Wales or Prince Charles, or what it was called before, but it's now definitely called King Charles. And he's only been king for 2 years. Is it 2 years? I don't know. 1 year, 2 years. So yeah, that I've got quite a few videos on my channel that incorporate sections of this coastal path. And if one of King Charles's legacies is to promote this coastal path for the entire country in all its different formats, and encourage some money to be spent to keep it in good order, then I'm all for that, because walking by the coast is one of the most pleasant things you can do in any weather really, but certainly on days like today. Not too hot, not too cold, bit of a breeze, and yeah, it's just fantastic. And some free food as well along here. If you like blackberries, perfect. There's two ways you can go to get to the bridge across the River Arun. One's to slightly longer route you can take in a moment that carries on in an anti-clockwise rotation around the golf course, and the app is sending me to the left in a clockwise direction around it, but you'd come out in the same place. I want to follow the app. Don't know why. The other way looks slightly longer, and I'm beginning to start running out of time. Not totally, but not to the point where I'm on one of my other recent videos I had to try and get an Uber because I walked too slowly and stopped and looked at too many things on the way and suddenly ran out of time. But these things sometimes happen. I'm not in that zone today, but I need to keep reasonably on track. Get back to Littlehampton now fairly quickly, so I'll take the shorter route. Anyway, it's nice just for a bit of slight change of scenery, so to speak, down this Mill Lane. I'm guessing that the coastal path continues on just along here to the right, as I want to carry on round to the left. I think that's pretty much what's going to happen. Handy little sign telling you what wildlife you can see here at Glamping Beach. Right, so England coastal path carries on that way, and as I say, that's sort of an anti-clockwise around this golf course. I can hear balls being hit over there, and I'm not entirely sure where the footpath goes now. Presumably over here. Otherwise I'll be walking through the middle of the golf course, which probably is not a great idea. To watch out for nettles along here, it's quite overgrown. This will be not the first time I've got completely covered in nettle stings. God, I wish I'd taken the other footpath now along the beach. That's a lot of brambles and a lot of nettles down there, and I'm wearing shorts, so Anyway, I think I'm through the worst of it. I wasn't sure there's kind of a footpath on the other side of the fence, but I think that's for the golfers, not for ramblers like me. Wow, that's me with itchy legs for the next hour or so, but never mind, all part of the fun, I guess. Field full of sunflowers there, but they're starting to wilt a little bit now. Just tiddly little bit sorry for themselves. And here we have the golf course looking really, really nice. Looks a nice golf course. And somewhere up here we'll be able to cross over the River Arun and into Littlehampton. Nearly done, nearly there. So there we go, that's the end of this little footpath. Kind of bear off to the left now. Actually, I think the footpath's continuing just away from the golf course actually. And somewhere up there should be a way of getting across the River Arun. This is interesting. There's the T, 16th. There's a green there. Presumably it's across to that one over there, and that's another one. And is that the 16th T as well? That's the 16th for men, I imagine, or professionals. And 16th for, I don't know what yellow, red and blue means, but is it juniors, ladies? Who knows? I don't know. I'm sure golfers know. To watch that when you go, make sure someone's teeing off as you walk through. Not sure if this side of the river is actually Littlehampton itself. It says on the map lee side, but I'm guessing it's part of Littlehampton. There's a sign ahead there that says welcome to Littlehampton Marina. More garden equipment on the go just when I want to speak, but right to the seafront if you're on a bike, and presumably if you're walking, left to Littlehampton if you're driving. But there's the sign, Bognor Regis, 7 miles. So yeah, I mean the original routing said just under 7 miles walking along the coast. I've probably walked more like 7.5, maybe nearer to 8 by now, because I have sort of deviated somewhat along the way. Rope walk apparently just here, presumably we've made ropes somewhere around here at one time. Oh, Chatham was the place they made ropes, but there you go. Historical rope walk. Harvey Boat Yards. Yeah, interesting. As always, not enough time. We're going to cross over the River Arun now. So over this side then, I'm guessing it's called Rope Walk. The other place I mentioned back there, Lee Side or something, I think that's a mobile home park. Danger of drowning or injury, no jumping or swimming. Yeah, you'd be a bit silly to jump in there from here, but I dare say some have tried it. Scrubbing dock. Right, so we are now back in Littlehampton, and a couple of options that could go on here. One of which is to have a good old walk around Littlehampton itself. I've sort of run out of time for that now, so I'm going to have to head back to the railway station, which I can see is just over there. Hopefully I can find a little shop along the way just to get some snacks for the journey, because I've eaten everything I brought with me. And I'll come back to Littlehampton on another day to have a proper look round. This pub's shut, unfortunately. Home's again at 5. according to the sign. And yeah, so there you go, 7-mile walk approximately, 8 if you dawdle about like I do, from Bognor Regis to Bognor Regis railway station to here, Littlehampton railway station. So I hope you enjoyed this walk, and as I say, I'll come back and do a bit more around the town some other day, Bognor Regis as well, and I've got loads and loads of others coming up over the next few months. I'm sticking to the UK until the end of this year, and then I'll be back to new overseas videos from January 2025. Any that you see in the meantime are repeats of ones I've already done. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, the yellow bell. You know the drill, and if you're watching this far, thank you very much indeed. I appreciate it, and have a nice day. Catch you again soon. Cheers for now. Bye bye.